Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
Hi, I'm Talia.
And we interviewed Alvin, a band leader.
When we met him, he had full to the brim of quirky anecdotes and making us laugh all the time. It was amazing as to how clear and precise his memories were.
We really enjoyed the experience of interviewing Alvin. I think that he brought the elderly generation and the younger generation closer together.
I'm Alvin Atkins. I live in Morecambe. I've lived here for 50 years, and I came to Morecambe as band leader on the central pier here. We were there until 1965, when all the rock musicians seemed to take over.
I know that you went to the Manchester School of Music.
Royal Manchester, yes.
What made you come to Morecambe?
My interest in Morecambe goes back to when I was 16. A school friend of mine, shall we go to Morecambe for holiday without our parents? Oh, good idea. So we came, and they just reopened the ballroom, the pier, after a fire. And it was a brand new ballroom. It looked just like a liner. Beautiful place. My friend was a dancer, and he danced with the girls all week, and I sat listening to the band. And went home, told my parents, that's what I want to be. I've seen the job I wanted, but I need a saxophone. So they bought one. And as soon as I got that, we moved to Burnley. So I went along the day we moved and went to this empty house and blew my saxophone. I wasn't very good, but I could do loud. And it echoed. It was lovely. After half an hour, I knocked on the door. Are you the saxophonist? I said, yes. He said, well, I'm Sergeant Edelson. I live next door. I'm in the police force. I've been working all night. I've just got to go to bed, and you've wakened me up. That was the start of a long friendship. I apologised, and we were friends. We became good friends. He let me take his daughter out, so he must have... So I gradually got the job playing here as a member of the band. The management offered me the job full-time. They said instead of going back home every winter, come here full-time, 52 weeks, and offered me the job as band leader stroke musical director. So that was how I came to live in Morecambe. The melody maker said I was the youngest professional, but we certainly had the longest run at the pier, 18 years.
What were your memories of playing at VE Day?
Oh, that was at the Winter Gardens. The place was absolutely packed with a lot of military people in as well. They couldn't dance, they were just all like this on the floor. And there was somebody threw an army detonator onto the stage. All the dust had been there for 100 years, all blew down, and all our black jackets were all grey. The drummer ran off crying, it had upset him. And one player was so full of whiskey, he kept on blowing and said, keep going, you babies, keep going. The band leader said, we're not going to continue until we find out who threw that up. So eventually they pushed somebody on the stage and said, did you throw that then? No. So they couldn't do anything about it, just carry on.
We did a lot of announcing engagements.
Oh, engagement, oh yes. Give me a piece of paper. And all night long it was congratulations to Mary Brown and somebody else who were engaged today. Oh, yeah, everybody claps. But one Sunday morning an irate father came to my door and said, it was a hoax. You must never ever do that again without parents' permission. So I was really thumped about that one.
What would you say was the best era?
Oh, definitely the 50s. When the big bands played with natural instruments without being electronic. Brass, trumpets, trombones, saxophones, double bass, string bass, and not electrified at all. That was the day.
What was the atmosphere in like?
The atmosphere was brilliant because they were all the same people who met. You imagine 2,000 people from Lancaster and Morecambe. There doesn't leave many left, does it? The young people I'm talking about. And they met up regularly. But dancing in those days, it's very skillful, but it's also, it was a way of, if a boy fancied a girl, he could go and ask her to dance. And what better way is there to hold a girl in your arms, and if you liked her, you asked her again. And if you really liked her, you'd be out around the back having a kissing session outside the thing.
What was your best memory?
2,500 people every New Year's Eve all singing Auld Lang Syne. That was some moment, was that.
What was it like to perform in the hall?
To perform there?
Yeah.
Marvellous. We were playing one Wednesday night and all the lights went out. Complete darkness. We saw the customers going to the cloakrooms and the candles and torches were lit. They got the clothes and went out. And suddenly one of the staff came up and said, "The wiring is burning from end to end. We've got 2 fire engines, 2 police cars outside. And Eddie, the manager, says, keep on playing until he tells you to stop." We weren't going to have that. So 10 musicians picked up their instruments and fled off the pier as fast as ever our legs would carry us. I'd been doing lots of singing as a young boy, so everybody said, well, if you're going to college music, you must do singing as well as violin. So I went back to the college for another 3 years as a singing student, and I had to decide whether I was going to do the performers course or the teachers course. And I soon found out the hard way that I wasn't going to do the performers because I was too short. It was no good trying to be in an opera when the girls were a lot taller than me. And of course I went to do a concert once, and my opening song was a ridiculous choice. It was called The Windmill, and the first line is, "Behold, a giant am I." And it got a laugh, and I was there as a singer, not a comedian. So that was it.
Did you have a favourite song to sing?
Favourite song?
Yeah.
Not really, no. As long as it was slow. Conducting a show at the Winter Gardens, and on the Monday night, by the Tuesday night, second night, the leading man had lost his voice. So the producers had an idea, we'll have a microphone at the side of the stage, so the prompts man can read his words. We'll have a microphone in the orchestra pit for you, you can sing his songs. Well, I knew them, so that was no hard job. But the fun was that the leading lady, the girl, singing a love song, a duet, didn't know whether to look in the eyes of the laddie who was miming or me in the orchestra pit. He was all right by the next night.
Did you ever suffer from nerves when playing in front of all those people? Were you nervous?
At one stage in my career, I was doing a solo act. An agent gave me bookings all at various points in the country. Not for long. I soon got tired of that. And then I would say, yes, I was feeling a bit nervous being on my own, with nobody else. But playing with orchestras and things. The only time I've ever been nervous, really, is when the BBC push a microphone in front of you and expect you to talk.
What were your feelings when the pier blew away?
Oh, disaster. Terrible. It was something, when it was on fire, I couldn't describe it. I thought of all the people who years of enjoyment, all the pleasure we'd given them. 2,000 people would be dancing on that floor, and they didn't know that right underneath was the sea. Everybody thought it was a sprung floor on an artificial floor underneath, but it wasn't. It was just tongued and grooved boards nailed to joists every so often. One morning we were playing, it started rising, and there's a gap came, and I could see the sea. The manager at the time would come out on a Saturday and say, "A lot of people in tonight, don't do any jiving, don't do anything where they jump up and down." He was frightened of that floor going. And we used to say jokingly that if that floor collapses, it'll be the biggest disaster since the sinking of the Titanic, and 2,000 in the sea. But we were attached to the back deck, which wasn't the floor at all, so we would have been safe. But we said if it goes, we play "Nearer Thy God to Me" in the key of G, as they did on the Titanic.
What do you think about today's music?
Terrible. Don't get me started on the day's music. It isn't music. It's oh dear. No pattern to it. No words. No tune. No words. No. Just loud. Right, I know I'm talking to the wrong people here, but you did ask the question.
I agree sometimes with that. Okay, your 3 most popular songs to get everybody dancing.
In the mood. I mean, there were songs with words and stories. Love's Last Word is Spoken is one. I did a recording of that. So that, I remember that very well. My Foolish Heart was another. Moon River. One man said to me, not long ago, he said, "You were responsible for more marriages in this town than anybody else." I'm glad he said marriages and not divorces and deaths.
Do you miss playing?
No. No. Been there and done it all, as they say.